When it comes to creating video content, I like to look at it as, you are basically cloning yourself. You're cloning versions of yourself through these videos, and these videos are working 24/7, 365, all around the clock. So if you're sleeping, technically you're still working because your videos are on YouTube.
Welcome to The Raquel Show. This show is for entrepreneurs who want to play bigger in business and in life. And today I have a very special guest that I got to connect with when I was speaking at a virtual event, and she promoted the event, and I had to follow her because her video stood out to me. And I was like, kind of on this rabbit hole, and I went and saw all her stuff and totally fell in love with her because she is super knowledgeable when it comes to Canva and marketing. And she also did a training for our team. And we all know in our business today, whether you're in real estate or another business, that marketing drives sales. And so I cannot wait for all of you guys that are listening or watching on YouTube to hear from this special, talented woman. Welcome to the show, Laressa Ngoeun.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. This is an incredible honor. I'm so excited. And the fact that you even noticed me, the Raquel Quinet noticed me on Instagram, that was such an honor. And I'm so excited to be here. And the fact that I could even do a training for the team was just incredible. So I'm super excited to share what I know about Canva, content creation, all the things for real estate, essentially. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You guys got to know, this is why I adore her. So you are a real estate agent, and I'd be curious to know how long, just for our listeners, have you been in the business, and what got you interested in this marketing realm, or even learning about Canva? Because Canva is such a powerful tool.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess to pre-frame, I got licensed roughly 2.5 years ago. So I am from a very small town. I'm from Drumheller, Alberta, Canada, which is a small tourist farm town of roughly 10,000 people. So I was born and raised here. And funny enough, we are also known as the dinosaur capital of the world because we have the world's largest dinosaur. Her name is Tyra. You can climb up inside her and you can see Drumheller out of her mouth. It's really cool if you're 6 years old. But anyways, I got licensed in this town, and I was a brand new real estate agent. And essentially, I was up against realtors who already had 10, 15, 20 years of experience in the business. And they already had this established brand that was well known and recognized by the community. So I had to find a way to expedite that trust, and know factor, and to show the community that although I was young, I was capable, competent, and I could actually help somebody in the transaction of the purchase or sale of real estate. So of course, I got licensed during the midst of this pandemic, right? So we couldn't be face to face with clients. So, which looking back in hindsight, it really was a blessing in disguise because that pushed me to use social media as a way for lead generation. And for me, I decided to leverage YouTube and Instagram. And I knew that video wasn't going anywhere. Video is the now, it was yesterday, it's everything. So with video, I decided to, again, use authentic, non-paid content creation for video. And I was okay, with video, there's really 3 things here in creating content, because one, it builds up your communication skill set because you have to be on camera. You have to be able to concisely, competently, and deliver a message that people are going to understand and not click off your video. And 2, it's a leverage of your time. So instead of me being one-to-one in front of one client or a person, now you have a piece of content where you can deliver it in different platforms. So you have YouTube, you have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You have one piece of content, you can deliver it in different mediums. And now it's not just one-to-one, it can be one to hundreds, one to thousands, tens of thousands, 100,000s, depending on how well you optimize this video and where the algorithm takes it, right? And number 3, we have the trust, and know factor, because again, with video, people are not just hearing your voice, they're seeing you, they see your tonality, your characteristics. So they get a feeling of what you're like. And of course, when it comes to creating content for social, for real estate, for social media, the YouTube and Instagram play, it's a long-term play where it doesn't happen overnight. You don't put a video out and then you get a client immediately, right? So with this avenue of lead generation, it's a long-term play. It's a delayed gratification play But just know that even if you're creating content and putting video out there, even if people don't like it, they don't comment, they are watching you, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that is kind of the rabbit hole that I went down. And that's how I discovered using Canva for content creation. Because for those who don't know what Canva is essentially an online designing platform for people who are not graphic designers. Because the interface of this platform essentially allows you to drag and drop different elements onto the canvas, and then boom, you have a piece of marketing material. So I heavily utilized Canva for creating my YouTube thumbnails, creating my social media posts. So when you have a listing, you have your coming soon, just listed, just sold, things like that. So for me, also being a brand new agent, I didn't have the budget or money to allocate to hire a designer to do it for me. So I went the DIY route, and you do everything yourself. And in turn, you build up that skill set. So now for me, I have this library of Canva templates. And now if you want to build a team, then you can easily just share your templates with people, easily that way. So that's kind of how I got down the road of going to Canva and using Canva for content creation, because I had to do it alone by myself in the beginning. So that's kind of the rundown story of it all, really.
Well, I love, number one, all of it. And the fact that you said it's a long-term play, because I think you hit it on the nose, where a lot of agents or a lot of entrepreneurs, they think if they get on social or they get on YouTube and they create video or create content, that leads are supposed to happen like right away. And I love your story, because I think it was a blessing in disguise of you trying to find another avenue and just like learning a new skill that is actually going to help you tremendously in years to come. What is it that you love about being a content creator, and how important is creating content today for your business?
Well, in the beginning, honestly, being on camera was really hard because it's foreign. You're not used to it. So in the beginning, it was really hard to be on camera and deliver a message, because the thing about when you're on camera, you think you're giving 100% of your energy. But then when you watch the playback, you're like, wow, I have no personality at all. It feels very dry. But again, it's a matter of starting, because I know with other realtors, they're afraid of being on camera because they don't like the way they sound. They don't like the way that they look. But ultimately, you just got to do it. And over time, when you build up that skill set, you're building up the volume of you being on video. And so I'd say for content creation, there are two streams for video content. I would say you have your long form, which is YouTube, and you have your short form, which is the Instagram Reels, TikTok, and the YouTube Shorts. And I think if you're just getting into video and content creation, perhaps start off with the short form. So that way you can build up the volume and build up the skill set. So when you are ready to do long form, you got it down. And for me, it is a huge pillar of everything that I do, because one, again, going back to the fact that you can leverage your time. So really, when it comes to creating video content, specifically when it comes to creating long form content on YouTube, I like to look at it as, you are basically cloning yourself. You're cloning versions of yourself through these videos, and these videos are working 24/7, 365, all around the clock. So if you're sleeping, technically you're still working because your videos are on YouTube. And if you properly rank your videos, optimize your YouTube videos, because YouTube is owned by Google, the number one search platform on the planet. If you rank your videos properly, optimize it properly, your videos could also pop up to Google, depending on what your target audience is searching on Google. So if you are part of a specific market or a neighborhood or a community, if you're doing videos that are targeting that community based on what you're talking about in that video, how you've titled it, how you have described it, depending on what the client is searching into Google, you very well could pop up in the search results, right? So it's a huge, huge piece of my business as well. Yeah.
I love that. How would you say somebody should optimize their videos? And there was one thing that you said before we kind of get into that question is the video is working 24/7. And I love that, because here's the thing, even when you're sleeping, it's working. And I always say that those are like billboards for you out there, right? They're just like billboards that you have. Once you do a video, that's like a billboard for you. And you would pay thousands of dollars to have a billboard in your city, right? So how does somebody optimize their video?
Well, here's the thing. When it comes to YouTube, the two most pivotal things of a YouTube video is one, your title, and two, your thumbnail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because think of it, when you're on YouTube on the recommended section, all these videos are on your screen. And basically the way that people want to watch a video, they judge the thumbnails first. They look at the thumbnails first, and then they read the title, right? So if anything, that's why I use Canva for my thumbnails, because we want to make sure that we are delivering on what the video is going to be talking about, right? So I guess kind of my three big key things for when it comes to creating your YouTube thumbnails on Canva is this. One, you want to be in the thumbnail. So you want to have at least, your shoulder and up, a headshot of you on your thumbnail. You want to have text that is legible, it's big, it's bold. So even if when you're creating your thumbnail on Canva, of course it's going to look very big, but most people are going to be watching it on mobile. So if anything, it's going to be like an inch by an inch. So you want to make sure that your text is legible, it's big and bold, and you want to use either some emojis or different elements and graphics that highlight what you're going to be talking about in the thumbnail. Now, I have tutorials on my YouTube channel of exactly how I create these thumbnails. So definitely check me out. It's my name, Laressa Ngoeun. Just go find me on the YouTubes. I'm there. I show you what to do. And one thing that I learned when it comes to creating titles and your thumbnails is that when it comes to creating the text in your title, you don't want to have the same text in your thumbnails. So I hope that makes sense, because if they don't like your title and you have the same title in your thumbnail, they might not click on it. So it's two different places of real estate per se, the digital real estate space, where they're seeing whether or not they should click on the video per se. So I hope that answers your question.
And you definitely have to check out her YouTube channel. And we're also going to put it in the show notes because there's so much gold in her YouTube channel. So speaking of YouTube, and you talked about Reels, what platforms do you find are the best to attract clients that are looking to buy or sell, and why?
I love this question because it's quite interesting, because, I recommend that people start out with one social media platform at a time. If you want to start with YouTube, start with YouTube. You want to do Instagram, start with Instagram. But here's what has actually been working for me in terms of my YouTube channel is I'm both on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on TikTok. And of course, when you are using now, because video is everywhere, it's not just on YouTube, it's now with the Reels, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. What I'm finding now is that if you are creating short form content on your Instagram, TikTok, and even YouTube Shorts, what I recommend you do is try to, with all the traffic that you're getting on these platforms, try to push people to your YouTube channel. So if anything, I use Instagram and TikTok as kind of a way to one, build your personal brand, but to also amplify your personal brand and to use that traffic to push it to your YouTube channel. Because if anything, people are already going to be Googling your name. If you're a real estate agent, they're going to be Googling your name and they want to see what's going to be popping up. So they want to see all these different platforms of if you are on there or not. Now, again, with TikTok and Instagram Reels, you may see and notice that it's really easy to rack up a lot of views. And it's so easy, right? Versus when you are on YouTube, it's really hard to build up a significant subscriber base and get the views because, but anything, the loyalty of your YouTube subscribers are there. So if anything, here's what I recommend is to use the traffic that you have from Instagram and TikTok and try to push them to your YouTube channel. Because this is going to create what I say the two verification method. They're gonna verify really how you're like on your YouTube videos, right? So they're gonna see a little quick teaser of whatever it is on Instagram, TikTok, and then they're gonna verify if you're a real person, if they want to work with you on YouTube. And again, keep in mind that even if these people aren't going to be, subscribing right away or commenting or liking, just know that they are watching you. And over a period of time, once that like, trust, and know factor builds up, they will eventually reach out to you. And funny enough, a lot of people do end up saying, hey, I've been watching your videos for, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and now I'm ready to either buy or sell with you. So yes, again, it is that long-term play. It's the delayed gratification play. But if anything, like I said, these videos are working for you 24/7, and it's doing all of the nurturing for you. So they're just coming to you as warm leads now.
So good. So basically, in a nutshell, is like you're saying, leverage one platform, get them all basically funneling to a YouTube, so long form. And then by then it's like, I've watched your videos, you've got the know and like trust factor. So they automatically already want to work with you because they feel like they've known you. With agents today, what mistakes do you see either them or entrepreneurs make when it comes to short form or content creation or even marketing?
I think ultimately, the thing about branding and personal branding, it's not so much about your colors, your fonts, your text, your logos. I think ultimately what it really comes down to is your consistency. How consistent are you showing up on these platforms? Are you putting a video out on YouTube every single week? Are you posting multiple reels, TikToks, and shorts multiple times a week? How often are you showing up, over delivering on value and showing people that you are capable, competent, and you have the knowledge to help people from point A to point B? So I think it really is just a consistency game and having patience because it's a long-term play. I can't say that enough. It's a long-term play. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's like, a water drop in a bucket over time, one drop at a time, and then eventually it will overflow. And that's the breaking point there. So consistency.
Consistency. That is definitely the name of the game, especially when it comes to sales, when it comes to marketing, prospecting, you name it, it's consistency, right? It's been 2 years since you've started this journey, right? Or almost 3, going on 3. What has this done for you and your business?
Honestly, everything. I think, and kind of going back to the last question we were talking about of what mistake people make when it comes to marketing, I think it's also consistency is one piece. But I think also when it comes to your branding, you have to make sure that your branding looks consistent across every single platform you're on. So if you are on YouTube, your banner has to look the same as it would as in a Facebook, your Facebook business page, your LinkedIn profile. You want to make sure that everything is consistent across the board because no matter where people are finding you, whether it's on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, all of your branding looks cohesive and it looks the same. So it doesn't matter if you are like me, a new agent who was up against how many other realtors who have more experience. To the consumer, the perception isn't that way because they think, hey, this person has a very well-established brand, a platform, they have information that I need, and you're catering to the needs, the wants, and desires of that specific avatar client that you're trying to attract. So you want to make sure that you are, again, just delivering on value. And if anything, go for the non-paid ways of creating content. Yes, you can do ads. Yes, you can have paid ads and do things like that. But I think over time, what really builds up the authenticity of the brand, because really the agent, you are the brand, you define the brand. It doesn't matter which brokerage you're part of. There are good agents at every brokerage in the world. There are not so good agents at every other brokerage in the world. So yeah, I think that's what I would say is just making sure that you are consistent and just showing up equally across all the brands to make sure that you're well-rounded, I would say.
Yeah. And so what has it done? You talked about like you were up against like people that had 10, 15 years in the business. What has it done specifically for your business now that you've started this?
Well, the funny thing now is because my first year in real estate, I was really focused on production. And the reason why I started Canva for real estate, my YouTube channel, is because although I was attracting attention from potential prospect clients in my community, what ended up happening was me garnering attention from other real estate agents who are asking me, hey, Laressa, how are you doing this? How are you creating your thumbnails? What are you using to create your Instagram, your reels, your TikTok, and things like that? So that's what had opened up a new dimension of the real estate industry that I didn't know was there. I didn't know that there was a need or a service or a demand of content creation for realtors. So that's what I kind of shifted from production into more of the agent services. I'd say not really services, but at least creating content for other real estate agents to show them this is how you do it. Even if you're a young, new, brand new agent or just new in the industry, this is how you can build a substantial brand. And this is how you can use social media to your advantage by leveraging and cloning yourself, essentially. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm more so in the agent attraction era versus so much with production. For me, it's opened up such a huge, like I said, another dimension of real estate. And that's even what has allowed me to connect with you. Because if I was not doing these events with the Wolfpack and with Mike Sherrard, then I wouldn't have been able to have connected with the Raquel Quinet. So that's kind of what is my now, essentially. So I'm not so much in production. I'm now more so in helping other real estate agents build their brand and do what I did in the beginning. So
I love it. And I love Mike Sherrard for sure. And I know that I have always wanted, like, I think I reached out to you and I'm like, how do I hire you? Because I'm like, you are really good at what you do. I'm like, do you do project based? So you're listening to somebody that has an amazing YouTube channel that helps agents or helps brands, really build their brand, or business owners build their brand through content, through a platform called Canva, right? So what are some of the basics, if you were to boil it down, that every agent or entrepreneur should learn when it comes to Canva, or should they even learn it?
Canva is a beast of a platform. And honestly, don't sleep on Canva. And I say this, so without Canva, I have no business doing business essentially. So with Canva, it's not just, your you're just listed, coming soon, open house, like Instagram, 1080 by 1080 pixel designs. Now with Canva, it's such a diverse platform where now you're able to create short videos. You can create reels. You can create even long form videos if you want to. We now have the ability to create Canva websites. These are basically landing pages with Canva. They're not SEO optimized, but it is a great way to create, basic funnels and lead magnets that you can, put out there for sellers and for buyers. And ultimately, what I would say to start off with is start off with the free version of Canva, because that's pretty much sufficient as it is. And of course, if you follow along with my YouTube channel and my videos, I show you how to use Canva Pro, because with Canva Pro, you become a professional and I show you how. And what I would suggest is really to build out first your brand kit. Now, I should preface this by saying, because, the both of you and I are both part of these cloud-based brokerages, these brokerages understand that the agent is the brand. So they give the agent the autonomy and the ability to create the personal brands, as long as, you're compliant with the broker's branding guidelines, right? So for now, realtors now have the ability to basically, like I say, create their own personal brand being powered by these real estate brokerages, because these brokerages are now, cloud-based brokerages. They're essentially platforms that realtors can plug into and build their businesses off of. So that's why we're able here to build our own personal brands. So with Canva, like I said, you can go in and build your brand kit. So with this, what you're essentially doing is, you are picking out your colors that you want. You're picking out the text and the font styles, and you can add in your logos. You basically have this toolkit. So whenever you're creating any other piece of design on Canva, whether it is an Instagram post, whether it's a Instagram reel, a listing presentation, buyer presentation, seller's guide, buyer's guide, anything you want, you have this brand kit. So when you are creating your designs, you have a cohesive place where you can easily just change your colors, change your fonts, add in your logos, so you don't have to search for them all the time. So I recommend that's where you should start. And of course, with Canva, there are thousands of templates to choose from. So don't think that you have to come in here and create it yourself. There are templates you can start with as a base, and just, again, change your colors, change your brand colors, your logos, add in things like that. So like I said, you don't need to go down this rabbit hole. And what I really recommend when it comes out to starting with content creation is Canva. Is what you want to do with Canva is to use it as a tool. What you're essentially doing is creating templates for each aspect or digital marketing piece that you have in your real estate business. So again, going back to the coming soon, open house, just listed, if you create the template with your colors, your logos, and your text, all you have to do every time you have a new listing is you just change out the photos. You don't have to always create the design from scratch. So you have one template for your Instagram. And let's say you're doing YouTube videos, you create one style template for YouTube videos. So every time you have a new video, you just change out the photo of you, change out the text so it's relevant to what you're talking about. You have a template. So don't think you have to start everything always from scratch. You want to make sure that you have your own library of templates so you can easily just go in, change things, and then you're pretty much set and ready to go.
So much gold in everything that she shared. And when you even speak about brand kit, I'm always like, I want to switch everything all the time, but I love it. So speaking of that, is like, how does one stand out? There's a lot of realtors out there. There's a lot of entrepreneurs, and there's all these different marketing strategies. And I know we can't get into all of them, but how would you say people continue to stand out when it comes to stuff like this?
I think video is king. Yes, you can create all these static images and things for Instagram, Facebook, and things like that. But I think video is king because, like I said, they see you, your tonality, the way you speak. If they like your post, most likely every time they open Instagram or TikTok, you're going to be the first one to be on their feed. So I think, again, it's just the consistency and just starting. Because if you don't start, it's never going to happen. That's kind of my run-of-the-mill answer there. I can't really give anything specific because, I think what really makes you stand out is you. If you show up authentically, that's what's going to set you apart from everybody else.
Any tips, marketing tips, or any advice that you would give to our listeners today, or any big thing that you saw that has worked that probably gave you the best ROI in your business when it comes to marketing?
I guess going back to video again, it's just right now what I'm doing is I'm using my Instagram and TikTok as a way to traffic people to my YouTube channel. So if you, for example, if you are, you're a real estate agent and let's say you have a listing coming up, you would do basically a 30-second teaser of your listing. So a vertical video, you would post it to Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and then you would obviously have a long form video of the property tour, have it on your YouTube channel. So if people are seeing this on Instagram and YouTube, the CTA you would have or call to action at the end of that 30-second clip is to, hey, watch the full video on my YouTube channel. Boom, you're trafficking people from Instagram, TikTok to your YouTube channel. So there's a method of that.
Love it. So what's next for Laressa? You've given us a lot of gold, a lot of nuggets, and I know some of them are going to rewind this episode. Is what's next for you, and what are you most excited about that you're working on?
So right now I am pretty heavy on creating content for my YouTube channel. So right now I've pegged it, Canva for real estate, because Canva is such a diverse platform and there's a lot of content creators who are showcasing tutorials on Canva. But I was thinking, how can I take Canva but make it for real estate? There's such a niche here, and it's really important that, as industry partners, we're all helping each other, because when we can help each other, we raise that level of standard in the industry. And like I said, I've been building out, my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my TikTok. I also do sell my templates on Etsy. So you can purchase all of my templates. It's everything that I've used in my own business. I share everything. So there really isn't anything that is a secret. Everything is out there to share. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
So where can people connect with you?
Well, you can find me on Instagram. And then once you find me on Instagram, I will push you to my YouTube channel.
And we'll leave her handles in the show notes. What's your handles for those that are listening?
It's just my name, Laressa Ngoeun, LaressaNgoeun. You can find me at Laressa Ngoeun on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Amazing. And as we wrap up, there's always one question that I ask every guest that comes on the show is, what does Laressa do to play bigger in business and in life?
I love this question because I do listen to your podcast. And honestly, playing bigger to me, is showing up as my most authentic self. And not being afraid of other people's opinions, not being afraid of doing what's unconventional and just trying something new. Because when I can show up as the highest version of myself, I am able to serve others better. And that's just what makes me happy. And to me, that's what success is. It's just being happy every single day and showing up as your most authentic self.
Oh my gosh, I adore you. Thank you so much, Laressa, for being on our show. I appreciate you. I've appreciated you from the time that we got to be connected, because you are so creative and so talented. And I'm excited to see what's next for you and to keep playing bigger with you, my friend.
Thank you so much. I had a wonderful time.